I opened the application just to look, and then the application just sat there.
I'm not scared of applying. I'm scared of loving a school before I understand the cost.
A good engineer does not begin with certainty. A good engineer begins with a question worth testing.
The portal is open, the future is loading, and somewhere a senior is staring at a button that says Start Application, like it just asked them to define the rest of their life. Welcome to the next class, the Portalcast.
With forms and fields and due dates drawn.
A button said, begin right here, and everyone brought snacks.
From the fictional halls of Portal Polytechnic, this is the next class, the Portalcast, a campus podcast about a made-up school with very real questions. Portal Polytechnic is a STEM-forward college with labs, launchpads, design studios, student projects, and naturally, a portal that everyone has very strong opinions about. The school's fictional. The pressure, however, is not. This episode, we'll use Portal Poly as a lens for the questions students and families actually ask during the college search. How do I know where I fit? What should I put in my application? What if I do not know my major? What if I cannot visit? What if financial aid makes my family freeze at the kitchen table? Today's episode is called the Portalcast because when an application opens, it feels like a beginning. But for students, it can also feel like a warning light. A portal can give you a checklist. It can show deadlines. It can upload documents and confirm submissions. But a portal cannot, by itself, answer the question underneath all that. Where am I going? And can I picture myself there? So today, we're going to walk that path. We'll hear from a current student, stop by the application desk, visit a campus clip from Portal Poly's design studio, play Factor Forge, meet a few members of our Persona class, and of course close with a letter to the next class. And because this is Portal Polytechnic, we begin with the most sacred ritual in modern college admissions, creating an account and immediately forgetting your password.
Password must contain 12 characters, 1 symbol, 1 uppercase letter, 1 lowercase letter, 1 number, and 1 emotionally unresolved dream.
That feels right. I'm now from Campus Current, live from the quad. And by quad, Portal Poly means the triangular courtyard between the robotics lab, the admissions welcome center, and a building nobody calls by its official name because memories beat donations every time. Here's our student correspondent, Campus Cruiser Carla.
Thanks, David. I'm standing in Portal Polytechnic's central quad, where the application portal officially opened this morning. The coffee cart has a line of emotionally ambitious people, and the statue of our founder appears to be holding a USB-C cable. Historians dispute this. 3 things are happening on campus this week. First, tonight is Portal Preview Night, where prospective students can walk through the application without submitting anything. Very important. You are allowed to look before you leap. The button is not a trapdoor. Second, the School of Systems, Circuits, and Slightly Overconfident Robots is hosting a Build-A-Question lab. The point is not to show up with the perfect answer. The point is to practice asking better questions. And third, Financial Clarity Hour is back with Leonard Atab, who will explain cost of attendance, scholarships, and why we will figure it out later is not technically a financial plan. Back to you.
Thank you, Carla. And that last one is important. The application opening is not just a paperwork event. It is a clarity event. When the portal opens, students start wondering what the school wants from them. But the better question might be, what do you need to learn from the school before you give it your trust? Carla is staying with us for our first student field note. Carla, you are currently a Portal Poly student. You survived the application process. You now own at least 1 hoodie and have a strong opinion about where not to sit in the dining hall during peak hours. What is your field note for students opening the application this week?
Do not try to finish the whole application the first time you open it. I know that sounds obvious, but it is not how panic works. Panic sees a portal and says, "We live here now. My advice is, do a 10-minute portal walk. 10 minutes. That's it. Open the application. Find the requirements. Look at the essay prompt. Check whether you need a resume, recommendation, test scores, portfolio, anything like that. Then make a separate list in your own words. Not the school's checklist. Your checklist. Because the portal might say, upload supporting document. Your list should say, ask counselor about transcript. The portal might say, select intended program. Your list should say, figure out whether I'm more computer engineering, data science, and ask somebody what the difference actually feels like. Translate the portal into human language. That helped me a lot.
That is extremely practical.
Also, name your files like a person who wants to be helped by future you. Do not upload something called Essay New Final. Maybe real
I feel attacked.
Paige. I say this with love. Your Google Drive is a weather event.
Carla, give us the file naming standard.
First name, last name, document type. So, Oliver River essay. Anya Patel, resume. Paige final essay, actually final.
Growth.
Campus Cruiser Carla, thank you.
One more thing. If you open the application and feel weirdly emotional, that is normal. It is not just a form. It is one of the first places where your future asks you to be specific. Take a breath. Make the list. Come back tomorrow.
Welcome to the application desk, where we take one part of the process that sounds simple and make it actually simple. Today's guest is Queryn Crossjoin, Portal Polytechnic's Director of Application Systems and Student Pathways. Around campus, Queryn is known as the Slate Captain, because when the data waters get rough, Queryn is usually the one steering the ship and asking why 5 different offices have 5 different definitions of complete. Queryn, welcome to the Portalcast.
Thank you. I brought a clean export and a reasonable amount of hope.
That is all we ask. So the application portal opens, a student logs in. What should they do first?
First, they should not confuse access with urgency. Just because the portal is open does not mean everything has to happen today. The first move is orientation. Look around, find the pieces, understand the shape of the application. I recommend 3 passes. Pass 1, requirements. What does the school need? Pass 2, evidence. What do I already have that shows who I am? Pass 3, questions. What do I still need to ask before I submit?
Let's pause on evidence. Because at a STEM school, I think some students assume evidence means I've already invented a drone. I've cured a battery. I've built a robot that can feel more ready than they do about the next step in life.
That robot exists. It works in our budget office. But no, evidence does not mean you have already become the thing you want to study. Evidence means you can show curiosity, effort, and follow-through. For a STEM applicant, that might be a class project, a part-time job, a science fair, a coding experiment, a robotics team, a math problem you kept working on, a design you improved, a time you broke something and learned from it. We are not looking for finished engineers. We are looking for students who know how to notice, test, revise, and learn.
That feels like a big pressure release.
It should be. A lot of students overperform certainty. They think they need to sound like they have a 10-year plan. But sometimes the strongest application says, here is the question I keep coming back to. Here is what I have done so far to explore it. Here is why I want to keep going.
And what about a student who does not know the exact major?
Then be honest and directional. There is a difference between being undecided and being uncurious. A student might say, I am choosing between mechanical engineering and product design because I like building physical things, but I am still figuring out whether I care more about the mechanics or the user experience. That's not weakness. That is a useful self-read.
So the application is not just a performance, it's a translation.
Exactly. Translate your curiosity into examples. Translate your experience into evidence. Translate your uncertainty into good questions. And one more thing, do not let the checklist become the whole journey.
Say more.
The checklist tells you what is missing from your file. It does not tell you what is missing from your understanding. A transcript can be received. A recommendation can be submitted. An essay can be uploaded. But you may still need to understand cost, campus culture, academic support, distance from home, mental health resources, career pathways, or what it feels like to be a person on that campus on an ordinary Tuesday. The portal knows your documents. You have to know your decision.
I think that can get lost in the structure of college applications. Queryn Crossjoin, thank you for joining us at the application desk.
Anytime. And please, everyone, stop naming your files New Final 3.
I am trying.
Time for Campus Clip, where we drop into a piece of Portal Polytechnic life and listen for what it teaches us. Today's clip comes from a tour stop on Portal Poly's first-year design studio, where every student, regardless of major, gets introduced to the school's favorite phrase. Test the path, not just the part.
So this is the first-year design studio. Behind me, you'll see teams working on adaptive mobility devices, water filtration prototypes, campus navigation tools, and one project that began as a smart recycling bin and is now, somehow, a tiny judgmental cabinet.
It knows when you throw out something recyclable.
It knows, and it is disappointed. The big thing to understand is that first-year design here is not about making something perfect. It is about learning how to move from idea to prototype to feedback. You build something. It fails in a specific way. Then you learn whether the problem is the object, the user, the environment, or the assumption you forgot to question.
So, you don't have to know how to do all of that before you get here.
No. You have to be willing to learn in public. That is the hardest skill.
You have to be willing to learn in public. And that's not just a STEM lesson, that's an application lesson. The application is not going to ask whether you're done becoming yourself. It is asking whether you can show the pattern of how you learn. This is the campus point of view, where we ask what the institution thinks it is offering, what students actually experience, and what happens in the gap between the two. Joining us now is Tessa Scrollore, Portal Polytechnic's Director of Admissions Communications. Tessa, welcome.
Thank you. I am very happy to be here, and I promise not to say personalized communication journey more than twice.
Thank you. That is legally binding. Tessa, Portal Poly is a tech-forward school. It has the portal, it has the dashboards, it even has the labs, the student project ecosystem. But today's episode is built around attention. A working page is not the same as a clear path. How do you think about that?
I think every school wants to believe that if the information exists, then the student has been informed. But students do not experience information as a database. They experience it as timing, tone, confidence, and context. A page can technically contain the answer and still fail to answer the student's question.
Give me an example.
A portal might say, financial aid materials will be available after admission. That is accurate. But the student's real question might be, can my family even imagine this option safely? So the better communication is not just the policy. It is the reassurance around the policy. Something like, you do not need to have every financial answer today, but you are allowed to start asking cost questions now. Here is where to begin. Here is who can help. Here is what will happen later.
That seems especially important for a STEM school, where the brand can sometimes become very output heavy. Labs, jobs, outcomes, innovation, projects.
Yes, and those things matter. But students are not choosing a brochure. They are choosing a lived path. A STEM student might be asking, will I belong if I am not already advanced? Will I be behind if my high school did not offer robotics? Can I ask for help here? Are the faculty approachable? Is collaboration real? Or just a word on the website? Those questions need language, not just links.
What does Portal Poly want applicants to understand early?
That the application is not a trap. It is a structured invitation. It asks for information, yes, but the deeper purpose is to help a student tell us what they have noticed, what they have tried, what they care about, and where they might grow.
What do students just overthink?
The idea of sounding impressive. Impressive is not the same as specific. A student says, I am passionate about technology. Okay, that is fine. But a more useful sentence is, I started noticing how much time my grandmother spent trying to use her patient portal. And that made me interested in interface design for healthcare. Specificity creates trust.
That is very Portal Polytechnic.
It is. We like a good interface.
Let's talk about the family side, because when the portal opens, sometimes the student feels possibility and the parent feels logistics.
Absolutely. Families often enter the process through risk. Students often enter through imagination. Both are valid. So a strong application journey has to make room for both the dream and the spreadsheet. That means deadlines should be clear. Aid timelines should be clear. Visit options should be well timed. Support should be visible. And when something is not knowable yet, the school should say that plainly, instead of letting families assume they missed an email.
So clarity is care.
Yes, and in admissions, clarity is also strategy.
What is the one thing you wish every student would do in the first week after an application opens?
Write down 3 questions, not 3 tasks. 3 questions. 1 academic question, 1 life question, 1 money or logistics question. For example, can I explore engineering before choosing a specific path? What does a normal weekend feel like? What happens if my financial aid package does not match what my family can manage? Then use the portal, website, counselor, visit, and email to answer those questions over time. That turns the application from a form into a search.
That's the perfect place to land. Tessa Scrollore, thank you.
Thank you. And students, please remember, you are not late because you are learning.
Welcome to Fact or Forge, the segment where we take common admissions myths, rumors, and mildly cursed internet advice and ask whether they are true, false, or forged in the anxious fires of group chat. Our automated judge today is the Portal Polytechnic application system.
I contain multitudes and several unresolved browser cookies.
Beautiful. First claim?
Top 10 secret essay hacks colleges do not want you to know. Number 7, guarantees admission.
Fact or forge?
Forge.
Deeply forge. There is no essay hack that guarantees admission. The better move is not to sound like an admissions algorithm whispered into a ring light. The better move is to be specific, reflective, and just honest about what you've done, what you've learned, and what you're trying to understand. Next claim.
If I'm applying to a STEM school, I need to know my exact major and career path before I apply.
Fact or forge?
Forge. With advisory note.
Correct. Some programs may ask you to apply to a specific major. Some may have different requirements. Always check the school's actual instructions. But as a human question, no, you don't need to have your entire future laminated. What helps is direction. It's interest, evidence, a sense of what pulls your attention and why. I'm curious about systems that help people move through cities is often stronger than I've known since birth that I will be a transportation infrastructure optimization specialist. Though, if that was you as a toddler, respect. Next claim.
Financial aid questions should wait until after I get admitted.
Fact or forge?
Forge.
Absolutely forge. You may not have every answer yet. The school may not be able to give you a final package yet, but you are allowed to ask how the process works, what forms are needed, what timelines matter, what kinds of scholarships exist, and where families usually get confused. Money questions are not rude. They are part of fit. Next claim.
If I cannot visit campus in person, I cannot really understand the school.
Fact or forge?
Forge, but requires compensating controls.
That's the most Portal Poly answer possible. An in-person visit can be powerful, but not everyone can travel. What? Well, that just does not mean that you're out of the process. You can attend virtual sessions, ask for student panels, watch recorded tours, read course descriptions, email a current student, ask a counselor what students from your region usually want to know. Look for signs of campus life that are not overly polished. You're trying to build a picture from multiple signals. And the final claim.
I do my best work under pressure, so it is fine to start everything right before the deadline.
Fact or forge?
Forge detected. Also stress pattern recognized.
Paige, you are not alone. Some people really do focus under pressure, but applications involve other people. counselors, recommenders, family members, transcript offices, aid documents. Your adrenaline cannot make someone else submit a recommendation at 11:58 p.m. Pacific or Eastern. Or maybe the school was Mountain Time? Yes, use your energy, but build earlier than your panic.
That is annoyingly fair.
That is our job here. Now we move from persona to person. Personas are useful. They help us name patterns. Funnel Fiona clicks everything but commits to nothing. Ghosted Greg disappears after every promising interaction. Campus Cruiser Carla finds belonging through motion and visits. Procrastina Paige waits too long but cares more than she admits. Anxious Anya needs financial clarity before emotional safety. Yield Fence Yasmin is always almost ready. Deposit and Disappear Devon looks committed until the silence starts. And Summer Melt Mia, well, she needs support after the celebration. And Historical Henry knows how the old process worked and is suspicious of anything with a QR code. These names are playful. The students underneath them are not jokes. Today, we're following Out-of-State Oliver.
My name is Oliver. I live far enough away that a campus visit is not impossible, but it is not casual. It is the kind of thing my family has to plan around work schedules, flights, money, and whether my younger brother has a tournament. I am interested in Portal Poly because I like building things, not in a polished way. More like, I keep taking apart stuff that was working, and then having to explain to my mom why it is temporarily in research. I like engineering, maybe computer engineering, maybe robotics, maybe design. I do not know yet. The problem is that from far away, every college starts to look like a website with weather. I can see the labs. I can see the student quotes. I can see the rankings. I can see the same sentence about innovation 12 times. But I am trying to figure out what it feels like to be there. Would I be behind? Would people already know more than me? Would I be able to ask a dumb question? Would I be able to afford it? Would I know where to go if I got stuck? I do not need Portal Poly to be perfect. I just need to know whether it can see a student like me before I get there.
That's the move from persona to person. Out-of-State Oliver is not just a geography segment. He is not just travel limited. He's not just a regional funnel code or a recruitment territory. Oliver is trying to build context without proximity. And that's a real challenge. When you cannot walk the quad, you need other forms of evidence. So here's Oliver's first week plan. 1, he writes down what he knows. Portal Poly is STEM forward. It has first-year design. It talks a lot about applied learning. It has virtual sessions. It has a counselor for his region. 2, he writes down what he does not know. Can he explore before choosing a major? How do students find project teams? How competitive does it feel? What does academic support look like? What does financial aid communication look like for families who need clear numbers? 3, he writes down who can answer. Admissions counselor, current student, financial aid office, faculty session, maybe a student ambassador from far away. This sounds simple, but it changes the task. Oliver's not trying to research college as a vague, infinite activity. He's trying to answer specific questions in a specific order.
Can I add something?
Please.
For me, the money question has to be early, because I do not want to fall in love with a school and then feel like the practical questions are ruining the dream. So I like Oliver's 3-column thing. What I know, what I need, who to ask. My first question would be, when will I actually understand what this costs for my family? Not is this school worth it in some abstract way, but when will we know enough to make a decision without guessing?
That is a strong question.
My version is a bit less emotional. I just make a Sunday checklist.
Of course you do, Eddie.
Every Sunday, I do one college thing. Not everything. One thing. Open a portal. Ask a question. Draft a paragraph. Register for a session. I do not trust motivation. I trust repeatable systems.
Eddie, Some of us prefer the cinematic arc of panic.
Your arc needs a calendar invite.
Both things can be true. Here's the point. The application process is not one personality type. Some students need momentum. Some need reassurance. Some clarity. Some need deadlines. Some need a person to say, you are not behind. You're at the beginning. For Oliver, the next right move is not submit. It's not decide. It's not perform certainty. It's to ask a better question first. Out of state, Oliver, wherever you are, the portal is open. But the path is not the portal. The path is what you learn as you move. Time for the Faculty Spark, where a Portal Poly faculty member gives us one short piece of advice for the next class. Today, we're joined by Professor Vellum Datum, who teaches first-year design and introductory systems thinking. Professor, what should students know as an application is opening?
Students often think a STEM school wants them to arrive polished. I would rather they arrive observant. A polished student knows how to present an answer. An observant student knows how to notice a problem. That matters more. If you are writing an essay, preparing for an interview, or thinking about how to describe your interests, do not just tell us what you love. Tell us what you noticed. Tell us what confused you. Tell us what failed. Tell us what you tried next. In my classes, the best students are not always the ones who know the most on day one. They are the ones who can ask a better question by week 3. So my advice is this. Do not use the application to pretend you are already complete. Use it to show how you learn. Your curiosity belongs before your confidence does.
Professor Vellum, thank you so much.
Thank you. And please tell students that breaking the prototype is not always a bad sign.
At Portal Polytechnic, I think that might be the motto. And we close each episode with a letter to the next class. Today's letter comes from Tessa Scrollore at the admissions office. It is written for every student who has opened an application and felt the strange mix of excitement, pressure, and browser-based dread.
Dear next class, the portal will ask for your name before it knows your story. That does not mean your story is small. It only means the system needs a first field. You are more than fields, more than scores, more than activities, more than a major selected from a drop-down menu. You are the late-night question, the half-built project, the family conversation at the kitchen table, the class that surprised you, the teacher who noticed, the job that taught you patience, the mistake that made you more careful, the thing you kept wondering after everyone else moved on. When the application asks what you have done, do not only list achievements, show us attention, show us effort, show us the pattern of your becoming. And when the process feels too big, make it smaller. One question, one task, one honest sentence, one person you can ask for help. The portal is open. That does not mean you need to rush through it. It means the door has appeared. Walk with care. We will meet you on the path. Signed, someone who knows the checklist is not the whole story.
Before we close, 3 takeaways from today's Portalcast. First, the portal is not the path. It can organize your tasks, but you still have to understand your questions. Second, specific beats impressive. Especially for STEM applicants, you do not need to sound like a finished engineer. Show what you notice, what you try, what you learn, and where your curiosity keeps pulling you. Third, clarity is part of fit. Academic clarity, financial clarity, campus clarity, support clarity. If a school makes you feel like your practical questions are unwelcome, pay attention to that. The next class is not built in a single click. It is built through questions, evidence, trust, and motion. This has been the next class, the Portalcast, from the fictional campus of Portal Polytechnic. Thanks to Campus Cruiser Carla, Queryn Crossjoin, Tessa Scrollore, Professor Vellum Datum, and our persona class, Out of State Oliver, Anxious Anya, Procrastina Paige, and Steady Eddie. And thanks to you for listening at the beginning of this process, which is often when everything feels both possible and completely unorganized. Next time, we'll follow what happens after the first click, when students gather information, open too many tabs, get 17 emails, and they try to figure out which signals actually matter. Until then, ask one better question. Save your password somewhere responsible. And remember, that portal may be open, but you are allowed to walk through it one step at a time. See you next class.
Session complete. Please close all unnecessary tabs, especially the one ranking dorm room mini fridges.
The portal blinked awake at dawn.
With forms and fields and due dates drawn.
A button said, begin right here, and everyone brought snacks and fear.
I only clicked to take a peek, then lost the tab for half a week. My draft is named Final Reel, then Final Reel with actual feel.
Page,
breathe in,
make one list,
find the steps,
check what you missed.
10 minutes in,
then walk away.
Future you
will bless today. The portal is open,
the cursor is bright,
the form wants your name and your plans by midnight.
The checklist can guide you,
the deadline can call,
but the path is the question that
carries it all. The portal is open,
but the path is yours. One better question
can unlock more than doors. I live where visiting takes a plan.
A flight, a map, a borrowed van.
I see the labs through polished screens and wonder what the silence means.
Can I belong from far away? Can I ask what I need to say? Can I know a place through signs in photos, panels, course designs?
I can dream, I can apply, I can picture autumn sky. But before my heart moves in,
tell me what the numbers mean. I need the cost, I need the date, I need the form, I should not wait.
Money questions count as fit.
Say the thing and honor it.
The portal is open,
the future feels near.
A dream in a spreadsheet
can both enter here. The checklist can guide you,
the deadline can call,
but the path is the question that
carries it all. The portal is open, but the path is yours.
One better question
can unlock more than doors. First pass requirements,
second pass
proof, third pass questions.
Then tell us the truth.
You do not need a 10-year chart
or robot built from spare lawn parts.
Show what you noticed,
show what you tried,
show where the question
stayed by your side.
I do one thing every Sunday,
one small task, then I am through.
Open a portal, draft one paragraph,
ask one question that is true.
Motivation,
make speeches,
systems show up at 11.
My calendar is boring,
that is why I trust it.
Some of us prefer a climax,
a tragic clock, dramatic tea.
But fine, I will make one folder
and stop naming files chaotically.
Name it so future you survives. Your name, the doc, and no disguise.
Fine.
Good.
Roads, the portal is open,
the cursor is bright,
the form wants your name
and your plans by midnight. The checklist can guide you,
the deadline can call,
but the path is the question that
carries it all. The portal is open,
but the path is yours. One better question
can unlock more than doors.
A page can hold the answer
and still miss what you meant.
A link can give a policy
without the comfort sent.
Clarity is care, timing has a tone.
Students need a pathway,
they can walk before they know.
Write 3 questions,
life, money, mind, then ask the school what you need to find. Come with questions, come with care, come with half-built plans to share. A polished answer fades away, a better question learns to stay. What did you notice?
What did you try?
What broke in your hands?
What taught you why?
Curiosity first, confidence next. That is how a learner
reads the text. What if I cannot visit?
What if I cannot guess?
What if I wait too long?
Then start with one step less.
Pick the walk,
read the shape,
pass with care,
test the way.
The portal notes, your documents, your forms, your files, your score. But you have to know your decision and what you are looking for. The portal is open, the path is yours. One better question
Can unlock more than doors.
You are more than feelings.
You are more than scores.
You are what you notice and what pulls you forward. The portal is open.
The future is bright.
Save your work, then breathe tonight.
Checklists can guide you.
The deadline can call,
But the path is the question that carries it all.
the portal is open.
But the path is yours.
One better question
Can unlock more than doors.
The portal is open.
Take one step through
The next class is waiting.
for the